Welcome to Film It Now. I'm your host, John Green.
And I'm Brian D. Almeida.
And it is Mando Monday!
Mando Monday, guys.
Chapter 10, which, what was the title of this chapter? The Passenger.
The Passengers or The Passenger?
The Passenger. It's interesting. It's, I don't even remember all the titles for the first 9 episodes, but this one was The Marshal, The Passenger. It's just every episode going to be about a new, third-party character here. I don't know. But it was good. I don't know. What'd you think of the episode?
Definitely felt like a side quest. You know, the Mandalorian is tasked with transporting this female species, female from a female species to another planet through. They couldn't warp speed. They used
They couldn't use light speed. Which I didn't really understand the explanation behind that.
I don't know. I think it was.
I don't know if it was something.
It was in the script.
It's a convenient plot point. I don't know if it was something that affected the babies. I've only watched the episode once. I normally watch it twice before I do these, but I think maybe it had something to do with not damaging the babies in the process of light speed.
That's what the idea was, that if they did light speed, it would eviscerate the babies or damage them or kill them in some way or another.
The radiation or something from the hyperdrive would mess with these eggs or something, which is funny because Baby Yoda ate half the eggs anyways. So.
You know what it kind of reminded me of, actually? This episode kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings, where Sam and Frodo go, and there's this part, I think it's the third movie, where they're trapped in this spider cave. Frodo's
the spider
wrapped
cave.
in it.
It's actually that's a really good point. I almost forgot about that scene. I hate spiders so much, and so when Baby Yoda cracks open that first egg and eats it and awakens the rest of the spiders, I was like, oh, please no. But it also reminds me of I play Star Wars: The Old Republic a lot, or used to. I haven't played it in a couple years, but the BioWare MMO, and there are tons of spider creatures like that throughout, and I absolutely hate those dungeons where you're just murdering and just rolling through spider creatures. But I appreciate it that they brought in some lore like that from and creatures from other video games like that.
I do enjoy that, and I love dungeons and dungeon crawling games and that kind of stuff. But spiders don't irk me as much. Cockroaches irk me a lot.
Did you ever play Half-Life?
Yeah, I did. I haven't completed it.
The head crabs that would jump onto your face,
they snatch your head, and then they
snatch your that. One of them did that to Mando, and I was like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of Half-Life.
The mouth of the spider kind of reminded me that, where it has the teeth and it just kind of sucks you in with its tongue and brings you up and just crunches on your.
I think overall, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed Baby Yoda being a little. He was kind of a little shit and just kept eating those eggs.
Yeah, he was kind of brat in this one.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't listen. He just kept eating the babies.
And he'd get mad when Mando would take it from him, meh, 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 meh. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. For the most part, it just kind of felt like it's definitely not my favorite episode.
It definitely felt like a filler episode. You know, it was a very minor side quest.
Which is weird. None of the other episodes felt like filler episodes to me in the first season. Maybe the one where they're on Tatooine was a little filler. I think that those characters are going to come back. I think there was future weight to those episodes.
I think this episode is going to be the inciting incident for another episode, the next episode of the following episodes.
I hope so, because they're only doing 8-episode seasons, and this just felt like one of those that wasn't. I just feel like there's got to be a bigger story to these creatures and why they're trying to save them or something, because I mean, you only get 8 episodes. I would hate to see a show waste or have a filler episode when they only have eight to go,
I was kind of surprised, but what was the reason why the New Republic ended up chasing him again? You know how they were going through the protocol of this identification and checking his old ship, and
they were asking him to submit. And that's another thing I forgot. I need to watch it again, but they were asking him to submit some form of identification that proved he wasn't Imperial.
And then he just didn't have it, and so he ends up having to just escape
to run. But It's interesting because I don't know if he was scared of the fact that he's a bounty hunter, or because he's not Imperial, so he really doesn't have anything to be afraid of on that sense. So I wonder, if just him being a bounty hunter was, which obviously at the end they find out that he's escaped with the bounty.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, I think the reason he runs away is because there's a warrant out for his arrest because he helped a prisoner escape.
Yeah.
And so at the very end of the episode, they explain, hey, you know what? It's all good between us. We saved you here. You ended up, you helped capture four other prisoners. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to let you off the hook here.
I think he was escaping. I think he was running away because of the warrant.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that made sense to me. I need to watch it again and see if there. I also haven't had a chance to watch any other videos of people who know Star Wars better than I do explaining it. Normally, I watch an episode and I'm like, I pick up all the This is one of the first one that didn't feel heavy with lore and fan service, which I actually appreciated that because every other episode, I've had friends of mine, call me or text me and ask me questions about the show because they're like, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? I'm like, oh, well, this is referencing something from this movie or this other TV show. And in this episode is the first one that didn't really have any callbacks that I noticed.
Yeah, the first episode did in season 2, but this one was just like a...
Yeah, chapter 9 had several. I mean, the Boba Fett
I honestly think it was just like a setup episode for what's to come.
I hope so, because it doesn't feel that way to me. To me, it felt like a filler episode.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is because his ship is destroyed at this point, he's going to land somewhere else, right? And wherever he lands next is going to have a big play in the trajectory of this story. Because otherwise, if you think about it, if he could use hyperspace and just get to the next spot, there's no conflict. So this, I think, was creating conflict for the rest of the story. So he's gonna end up crash landing probably on another planet or get picked up by another ship, be introduced to some new characters, and they're going to kind of be the driving force of the rest of the season. So in that case, it kind of makes sense to give him a side quest that would put him in this kind of predicament at the end.
I do like that he is taking actions in previous episodes that are coming back and actually helping him in this episode, for instance, where the New Republic pilots are like, we're going to let you off the hook because you captured and you didn't kill the lieutenant or the captain that was in guard at the prison there.
Yeah. I hope that means he goes to help the New Republic for something, like that those fighter pilots come back for some reason, or they call on him to ask him a favor, because that could be pretty cool and kind of bring him
maybe
into
he starts playing a larger role in the New Republic, or just being like a support character for the New Republic.
Yeah, it would be an opportunity as well to bring in maybe some familiar faces, which I know a lot of people are kind of against. They want the Star Wars universe to keep expanding and to get rid of the characters that we already know. But it could be an opportunity to bring him closer to the New Republic and maybe have a relationship with like some side characters or something like that. Like Lando, bring Lando in. I don't think they're going to do that, but it would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. I'm eager to see, because we left off on a cliffhanger, with episode 1 of season 2, where you said it's Boba Fett, right?
Yeah, it's Boba Fett at the end of episode 1, which interestingly, I read an article yesterday that for the last couple weeks, there's been some rumors around a new Star Wars show on Disney Plus. Like they're already working on the Cassian Andor series.
Other than Obi-Wan?
Yeah. They're already working on a Cassian Andor and an Obi-Wan series. And then there's been rumors that they're developing a spin-off of The Mandalorian. And now the big rumor is that they're going to do a Boba Fett show, which could be interesting. I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah, that'd be.
I don't know if it would be a prequel to The Mandalorian. Or
I don't know if you ever played this game, but I think it was on PS2 or PS1, where it was just a complete bounty hunter game, and that game was so much fun.
A Star Wars game?
Yes, it was a Star Wars game.
Which game?
Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
I don't
One of my
remember this.
favorite games. Yeah, it's just it's straight up called Star Wars Bounty Hunter, where you
Yeah,
play
if it was PS only and not on Nintendo or PC, I didn't play it.
Yeah, it was PlayStation 2.
Dang, that sucks. Yeah. I love doing bounty hunters. I mean, that's honest. Like my favorite game right now has been Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I played the bounty hunter class, and it's the most fun in my opinion.
What was your favorite part about the episode?
I think my favorite part of the episode was the visual effects, and I really appreciate that these first 2 episodes in this season have been way more visual effects heavy than the rest of the show was. The first season was, which is pretty cool. I think that means the rest of the season we're kind of in for a lot. I think they're putting a lot of money into this show, and I'm happy that they are, because I want the show to stay on par in quality with the movies, because I think the show is better than the movies.
Yeah, the series has been really good thus far. They've been really doing well in terms of visual effects. I hope it doesn't end up being something like The Walking Dead, where, like, for me, I lost interest in that show because it became a lot of filler.
Yeah.
Here,
but that's also, that's one of your typical shows. They're running 20 to 24 episodes a season, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense when you're running 20, 24 episodes, but when you're only running 8, it's like, why? There should be no filler. And that's why I think even the filler episodes of episode 1, I think are going to come back. I mean, he's a bounty hunter, so I appreciated that he was going on bounties and quests. That's part of who he is. That is character development, in my opinion. So I guess that's why I don't particularly hate this episode, is because it is still part of his character to pick up a job, right? But I hope that it has more effects in the future, because I have a feeling other characters that have shown up in other seasons that we thought were quote-unquote filler episodes are going to play bigger roles in this season. I'm pretty sure Bill Burr is going to be back this season. And that whole group that he locked up in the prison, I think they get out somehow. So I don't know. I'm excited for where the season's headed.
I am as well. I think one of my favorite parts of the episode was the very beginning, where he uses the jetpack against the character who tries to jack it. Oh my
goodness, that was so awesome. That character was interesting to me. I don't know what kind of species he was, because he had that mask on, but he sounded like a Jawa.
Yeah, he was holding Baby Yoda hostage, and he's like...
But he runs away, and then...
Mandalorian's like, wait, hold up. I can give you anything here. Everything's valuable. He's like, I'll give you the jet... So he gives him the jetpack, and then he just, like, straight up looks at him as he's, like, going away, and just takes out the remote for the jetpack. It's like, oh, you thought, son?
That was so great. And then, like, you just see the guy fall down. When that happened, Darby was like, did that guy die? I'm like, I mean, he probably fell from like 200 feet. Who knows how high he shot him up, and he just slipped off the jetpack.
Yeah, that guy's done. Or he's knocked out, or he's in a coma. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't kill the other 2 guys, right? He just knocked them out.
Or he sliced them. Oh, wait, no. He knocked him out because...
He had that big bar that he ducked, and this bar hit both of them and knocked him out. But dude, all right, so let's talk about this. That part where he's walking back to the city with all of his stuff hanging off of him. How sweaty and smelly do you think he was in that suit?
He's in the middle of the desert. There has to be some sort of like auto temperature control system in his suit. Otherwise, it's like... How did he baking?
How did he not pass out from overheating?
Heat stroke.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's little things that like you don't think about, but if it's sci-fi, maybe the idea is they have some sort of conditioning inside the suit, or
they never. There could be things like that. You think about it. They never show you eat. They never show him use the bathroom or things like that.
That's another thing. But I was viewing the episodes with my dad when we first saw the first season, and he was like, "How does he eat if he never takes off his helmet? How does he drink? How does he? He
never takes it off in front of other people."
Yeah,
because they show him take off his helmet in the 4th or 5th episode. I forget which one it was, when he's in when he's on that little forest planet and he saves the little village. You see him take off the helmet and set it down. Yeah. when he's by himself. So he obviously takes it off and eats. He's just not allowed to do it in front of other people.
So then what if someone accidentally walks into the room? Does he just like quickly get his helmet back on?
Just lock the door so that no one can walk in the room. Although what's funny is he was totally standing in a window when he does that. Anyone could have just been like, oh, that's what he looks like.
It's like, oh, hey, well, he's okay. It's like,
No,
it's just
no
little
human.
little things like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I did appreciate at the end of episode 1 though, like he takes a big chunk of meat. So because my girlfriend asked me the same thing while we were watching. She's like, does he ever eat? They never show him eat. And then he's walking away with this big chunk of meat from the crate dragon. I'm like, yes, he's gonna eat. You don't have to show him eat that meat, but him taking
implied.
the meat is implied.
Yeah.
It's like the toilet. You don't ever see him use the bathroom, but you see the toilet on the ship. It's there.
It's like there are like lapses of time in film and shows where like time has progressed. Obviously, we're not gonna stick around for that part because we need to get to the next section to keep
Like,
interest.
I don't want to see him eat. Because then I got to see him brush his teeth. Because if he eats, I got to be like, well, does he ever brush his teeth? Otherwise, his hygiene is disgusting.
And then we got to watch him take a dump. So
yeah, and then we got to watch him take a shower. Does he ever, like, after walking in that desert, does he take a shower on his ship? He better take a shower.
I mean, I would hope so. He's sweating.
But I need to see it, or he doesn't. Can you imagine no one in that galaxy ever has showered apparently, and they all smell disgusting? All right, scale of 1 to 10. How do you rate this episode?
I'd give it a 7.
Wow.
It's all right. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not great. It was entertaining. I think I really liked the battle with the spiders in the cave, how the ship held up, like it was still operational, and how they ended up using it in space afterwards when the hull was just completely destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, he just repaired the hull, and that's it. Or he just repaired the cockpit.
Just pressurized it.
To pressurize that, and the rest of the ship's just there, which is crazy.
But all in all, in my opinion, like 7 out of 10 because nothing happened. Nothing really much happened in importance to the story.
Yeah,
and it was like a side quest. You battle in the cave. You have essentially an escort mission for the babies and the mother. So
yeah, I'd say I give it a 6 out of 10. I don't know if it's my least favorite so far of the series, but it's not my favorite. I did enjoy a lot of stuff. The visual effects were great. The that scene in the cave with all the spiders was really great. Cinematography great. Story itself wasn't actually bad. It's like you said, it's just a kind of a side quest. It's a mission, and for what it was great. I just wish there had been a little more that tied it to the whole story of the whole season, which it may in the future. So I, probably maybe after episode 3 and 4 come out, maybe I'll feel differently about this one entirely.
Yeah, I thought that Baby Yoda was gonna do something to the spider. Like there was a lot of moments where I thought, is Baby Yoda gonna do something?
There were times I thought he would use the Force. I did love the last shot though. Well, right before. Well, is it after they were floating in space? But there's that shot where Baby Yoda looks back over at the tub of the eggs, and the mom like wraps her hand around it and falls asleep, and he like has a little grumpy face, and he looks back forward and just pops one more into his mouth.
Yoda savage.
I almost wonder, because I thought when he first put his hand up to it that like he was gonna like bring them to life or something, and I thought he was
here.
I thought he was gonna do the same thing to the eggs in the cave, but apparently he's just eating them. I almost wondered too. Is he like is he eating them and then his body is gonna like fertilize them and he's just gonna repop them out?
Yeah,
help them grow.
Yeah, I thought that something like that would happen too because of his force healing abilities. Like he would have some sort of like ability to do that, but
maybe it's because he's sensing the force in these creatures. He's feeding off of them, like he eats them to grow his own force powers. I don't know.
To level up.
So he's totally a carnivore.
Yeah.
Would probably be a cannibal if he could. He did eat a frog in the first season, so we'll see. That's it for Mando Mondays for Chapter 10. Thank you guys for listening. Join us next week. We're going to have a special guest on our show to chat Chapter 11.